We're still working on exponential numbers and the different things that can happen. Really starting to move into the order of operations with this lesson as well. We're on lesson 2-4 if you're in the Applied Algebra 1 curriculum. What you have here is 4 plus 3 to the second power. We have parentheses. Parentheses are part of the order. They come first in the order. Parentheses aren't really an operator. They're a grouping mechanism. So it could be parentheses, it could be brackets or braces. It could also be a division bar, which we'll discuss later, or maybe we've already discussed it. At any rate, this communicates, do what's in there first, don't care about the rest of the order. In this case, it happens to come first before the other thing we have to do, which is apply an exponent. So, pretty simple from there. Make sure that before you operate that square, you do what's inside. 4 plus 3 is 7. My blue marker is out, so 4 plus 3 is 7. Raised. Don't need the parentheses anymore because I did it already, but it's always nice to keep them in there just to keep yourself straight. So 7 raised to the second power. Now I apply that operator, the exponential, the exponent, and the answer is 49. So not that difficult. A lot of mistakes. I mean, a common error there is that people apply the exponent to the final number in the series there and not the first number. I wouldn't say that happens a lot, but it does happen some. Negative 4 plus 1, we're going to raise this one to the third power. Again, parentheses, I have parentheses. Parentheses always tell me, do what's in here first. Take care of that before you do anything else. So I take negative 4 plus 1. I've already reviewed the rules for this. We know that it's a negative 3. Now the parentheses do matter because of what we've already gone over. That's why it's good just to leave them in there. Because I need to remind myself I'm also raising the negative to the third power, not just the 3. It's a negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. 9 times negative 3 ends up being a negative 27. We've already gone through that example, so that would be our final answer again. Do what's in parentheses first, then apply the exponent. One more just for fun review, and this is a common mistake maker. We'll raise this one to the third power also. Parentheses always communicate to us, do what's in here first, take care of this before you do anything else. So let's do that. Keep the negative out there intact, because this is just saying the opposite of whatever this happens to be. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. I'm going to raise that to the third power. Now again, review. What are we raising to the third power? We're raising whatever's inside this parenthesis, because the parenthesis is still kind of intact here until we evaluate this completely. So I raise negative 2 to the third power, where I know a negative raised 3 times is going to end up being a negative. I'm going to keep the parenthesis there because I still got a negative out here to deal with. And 2 to the third power, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. And then, since that's negative 8, I'm actually finding the opposite of negative 8. And then there we have the 2 negatives that become a positive also. So the final answer is positive 8. So as we carry through and expand with order and make the problems a little bit longer, a little more complex, you have to continue to remember everything that we've learned in building up to this point. Nothing in math goes away. You have to remember it. You have to remember those rules. You have to apply them. Hopefully the rules become like muscle memory. They're just stuff that you know, and through multiple repetitions, through a lot of practice, unfortunately, because I know sometimes math practice is boring, but through a lot of practice, you'll get to the point where things like, when you see that, you just know it's a positive 8. Things like that will start to happen.